Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another episode of the Off Topic Podcast. Off Topic, where real life brings laughter, lessons, and uplifts. I'm Mario. I got Kim with me today. Kim, Mama Kim.
Thank you. So I was like, is it me?
Because I'm looking at the name. Hayward.
What's up, y'all?
Stovall.
Hey.
And Ronii.
Hola.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Wonderful. How are you?
Oh, I'm blessed by the best, as they say,
Oh, hallelujah.
Right.
Ain't that what they say?
You went to church Sunday? That's what I feel. I feel it's like falling off you. Not quite.
Yeah, I didn't quite make it. I did a little praise and worship on my way to work today, though. So if that counts.
Oh, what did that entail? Like what artist were you listening to?
I was watching it as I was driving. It's on my YouTube playlist. Tasha Page Lockhart. She did a version of Nobody But Jesus. And then she went into after that she went into what is this song? We Have the Victory.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a nice transition. So listen to a little bit of that. So it helped me get my day together. So
I love to hear it.
Oh, thank you so much. I know you think I'm a heathen.
I don't.
Because yesterday, guess what I was listening to?
What?
Slim Thick, caramel skin, 5'5", this girl a 10, hair done, bills fake.
Get it sexy.
Huh? Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, at least you listen to them on 2 different days. I usually listen to them, back to back. It's just
okay.
If you do that though,
you go from the spirit to the ratchet, or from the ratchet to the spirit.
It just depends on how that shuffle hit that day.
Surprise me. That's what I say. Surprise me.
And just like my social media, that daggone YouTube list seems to know my mood. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. How was everyone's weekend?
Not long enough. Good, but not long enough.
Never long enough.
That's what they always say. Anybody do anything special? Anything memorable? Fun?
I went down to the Essence Fest in New Orleans, so that was a good time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do tell. How was that? Was a lot of people?
There are always billions of people. So many people, and I think we got a piece of the storm that passed through. So on that Friday, it was like torrential rains, like flood-ish type of rains on our way to the Superdome for the first night of the concert.
Oh
yeah, so we were swimming all the way there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Were the performers good?
Overall, yeah, I feel like it was kind of thrown together. For it to be the 30th anniversary, I feel like it could have been a lot better. Like the headliners were Janet. Janet was on Saturday night. It was like Birdman and Friends on Friday, and I think Lil Wayne ended up coming out, so surprising everybody. So that was cool. And then Sunday night, actually no, I take that back. Sunday night was Janet. Saturday night was Usher.
damn.
So it was good, and I've seen Usher before, but I felt like in that setting, it was just like, okay, that makes sense. Like I don't know, it wasn't just amazing, and all the acts, like it didn't flow well together. Like after Janet, they had some random set with all these people. They were supposed to have a Frankie Beverly and Maze tribute, but it was not good in my opinion. Yeah,
that's unfortunate, especially to be the 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
I mean, because go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's always a good time though. Otherwise, like going to the actual convention during the days and like all the booths and stuff like that, that's always good. So
like, what did the convention like? Was it doing panels and all that kind of stuff?
So they literally have everything. So like for those, I think 3 or 4 days, they have different panels, music panels. They have health and beauty, all types of stuff. So you can literally go and do all of that stuff for free. So that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Good. You ate some good food?
Yeah, we had some pretty good food. Found some nice little restaurants and stuff. So yeah.
Okay, good food, good drinks, all that good stuff.
Yep.
Anybody else do anything?
Nah,
I had a family reunion. That was really good. Love on your family.
Because the way you said it was like, oh, okay, I had a family reunion.
It's just different now. It's just like we're becoming that age where it's just it hits different, and it's like it was fun, but like as a kid, I was excited and I was hype and everything. Like literally, we went this year and everybody was kind of on the same speed. I said when we host in Indianapolis, we need to put out a survey like, what's your level of activities, because everybody's the same. Like, so it was just cool, and it was okay. Like everybody is okay with chilling, sitting around, just talking and just chatting. That is the level of fun for us. So,
does your family have family reunions annually or like
every other year on the
year?
evening year? Yep.
Okay.
And we travel around to all of the states that are represented. So,
okay, I like that idea. Like, because my family does it every year, and I feel like that can be a bit much, especially when people don't want to contribute or whatever. It's always something. Like I just feel like that is a bit much. But
yeah, that's what we're running into as the generations change. So we only have one matriarch left in one of the states. Everybody else is gone. So we're gonna change it. So each year we vote what state gets it next. So Indy is next, and we're going to change it. We're just going to jump out there and be the forerunners and just kind of change it and have a destination reunion now. Because the host committees, you don't have a lot of people left that can contribute and keep it going. So we're going to do it a little different, and I think it'll boost our attendance because you'll have payment options where now when you're paying reunion dues, I mean, people are not going to send it in.
Right.
They can put themselves on a payment plan, but they don't. But we'll have a payment plan where you can send that in, your dues and flight and a hotel. So we'll just get a travel agent to do everything. So we're excited. And then we're gonna get it off this weekend. This weekend is just too expensive, and people look at me crazy when I say this. Everybody is not a stick on and stay on your job for years to come and get seniority. So people are, if they get off, they are getting a point because more than likely there's other people that have seniority there. So taking it off this weekend. We took it off before, and I don't know why we went back to it. So just changing, just like at a job, you're gonna get some pushback, but you got to change with the times.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But I want to shout out the Fog Brown reunion and my family. We already been known for shutting shit down, and this year we opened shit up. So we went on a party bus and we pulled up to a liquor store, and they were closed. Like literally, when we pulled up, the lights were trickling off and everything, and we pulled out and we were all jumped down. We were like, lights, and that man opened it right back up. He knew he was about to make a nice little dollar.
Was it?
So shout out to A18 Liquors in the Nashville area. Thank you.
This is Nashville, Tennessee.
What
time did y'all go to the liquor store?
Right.
I don't even know, but it clearly was closed. So
maybe think of that Dry County in Kosciuszko.
Oh, wait.
Nonetheless, Mama Kim, how was your weekend? Your beloved daughter was here.
It was slow. She is an old spirit, and we did old women things. I was like, "Ain't no drink." I like, okay, let's go get nails done. We got our nails done. We got our feet done. We went and got massages, and it was funny because she hasn't seen me in person in a while, and so I'm used to massage, and it's quiet. She kept talking. I was like, well, I'm not gonna get no massage. I'm just gonna sit here. She's like, well, Mom, and nah. Baby, this lady jumped up from behind the counter. She said, you want me to do your feet? I was like, okay, I get it. I'll go in the back. When I say that lady took me in the back and left Dominique up there in the front by herself.
She got tired of all that conversation.
Yeah, because the man kept looking at me, and I was like, oh shit, I'm sorry. You haven't seen me in a while. But I'm like, Dominique, when you go get a massage, it's quiet time. Do you hear the music?
Relaxation.
Yes. She didn't want to do that. She was talking. She was having a full-blown conversation. That man was beating the fuck out of her. I was like, that lady took me in the back. I said, baby, when I say she ducked my feet so damn fast, I said, oh, okay, girl, come on. She commenced to beat me up on my feet. I was like, ma'am, I didn't do anything wrong. Be easy. But it was a good time, and then I got to spend time with my favorite. You know, my kids know they said, "Oh, she's an actress," because my son gave me a birthday card and it made me tear up. They was like, "Look at her crying." I said, "Y'all know he's my favorite. Just so y'all know, he's my favorite."
I think the world knows that now.
They should.
Shout out to the producer for that nice card.
I was like, he's my favorite, so y'all should know. Fuck y'all too. He's my favorite.
Oh my! All right.
That
was my weekend.
Oh, how sweet! How sweet. Well, we went to go check out the Queens of R&B on Friday, which was I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, I figured they were good singing and stuff like that. However, I was a little skeptical about some of the opening acts, but they all did really good. And who I was most impressed with was Maya.
Really?
She killed it. She looked amazing.
Wow. Yeah, she did. She was down to Essence as well.
Was she? Yeah, she looked amazing. And then, you know, she did her whole set by herself. She said she wasn't spending that extra money on no dancers or nothing like that. She did it all by herself.
That's right, honey.
And she killed though. She actually sounded better to me than she did years ago when I really listened to her. I was like, man, what's going on with you? But yeah, she put on a good show. And then, you know, SWV and Escape, they, you know, it was a good show. They did a good job. You know, if I had to choose, I would probably say SWV did a little bit of better. But I also say that Escape are able to continue on without Latasha because Tamika, her sister, carries enough for her.
I thought you were gonna say Candy. I was gonna say I don't believe it. Okay.
But you know, I like Candy, even though I mean, one thing I wish Candy would do though is listen. It's okay to get rid of those high notes and then kind of just try to finesse the song if that's what you can.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You have to adjust as a singer. Like,
she don't want to. She want to keep doing that high note on My Little Secret and something. There's another song she do that high note on. Understand it. I'm like, you can let it rest, really. I mean, because you know, sometimes it don't even sound right and everything like that. You know, but you know, do what you do. I mean, who am I to criticize you making all that money? So. chirp away.
I mean, I like her too, but she's not a singer to me. Performer and a writer, absolutely. But I'm like
her little song. If you're out in the club, don't think I'm not.
I mean, you can like a song and not and the person not be able to sing.
Yes, yeah.
Well, I guess what I'm saying that would be that to me fit her voice. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You have to. I feel like artists, they get songs, or producers, they write around like the voice. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. So, you give me a producer right around my voice.
Oh, because I love me some God, Mama Kim, don't kill me, Lord. I love all her songs, but I don't think Mary can do it. Mary ain't no solo.
Agreed.
It ain't. Thank you, Hayward. Hayward said, "Yeah, agree." Now, but baby, she got some hits, and I got all her stuff.
Absolutely.
I just don't think she can. I don't think she can sing. But
Mary's not a vocalist. No, I mean, I think we can agree on that.
No, we can't.
No, I know that's your girl. I know that's your girl. But that does not.
Kim said, "What are y'all talking about right now?" I'm so confused.
She got hits, but she can't sing. Now I do want to be her adopted daughter. I probably need to lose some weight so my thighs can get smaller because I want her boot collection real bad.
Yeah,
she ain't got no daughter to give it to, and I think I need
Giuseppe's.
that. I don't even want them. Forget them. I want the one she had all the years before she
been wearing before. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The other ones we've been hitting, but the other boots she wear, she got to go ahead and max produce them. People about it.
Okay. All right. Well, sounds like we had a pretty eventful weekend. You know, Hayward, sorry you guys missed it. You know, I did get in the kitchen a little bit. Just put
he did
one or two things
together. We'll get it.
I don't know because Hayward said he said that y'all be acting funny. Y'all invite him over on Sunday. That's what I heard.
Hayward wasn't even in town.
That's what I heard.
He wasn't even in town.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
see, Hayward can't even say too much because he's a jet setter.
Look, we were not in town, but I mean, conveniently, I'll just say that.
Well, no, it was a spur of the moment type situation.
Yeah,
you know?
I know things happen.
It was a spur of the moment type situation. The spirit hit me. It didn't hit, you know, it hit me to rattle a few pots, and so I said, well, let me see, you know, and
no, I love it. I love it.
Very good, you know. So hopefully the spirit hits me one day soon again.
Yeah.
Or the spirit can hit you. You know, I'm okay with that.
And that's fine to work because you do know how to cook. So thank you.
Right. Why are you trying to act like you don't?
Right. Thanks.
Never said any of the above. Like
nonetheless, ain't that it? All right, guys. So let's go ahead and break into this first little clip.
Relationships are not 50-50. Relationships are whatever I have and whatever you got. And we'll meet somewhere in the middle. So sometimes you got 10, I'll bring 90. Sometimes you got 70, I'll bring 30. But whatever you don't have, I'll pick up the slack. That's what a relationship is. It is not 50-50. I don't always have 50% to bring. Sometimes I got to bring 100 because you might be at 0. And if you at a 0, I'm going to pick you up and I'm going to cover you in my secret place. If there's one thing I know how to do, I know how to cover my friends. I will cover my friends to the end. I will cover my friends, and I won't let you shoot them. I won't let you kill them. I'll see them do wrong. I'll tell them you did wrong and cover them in front of you and tell them they did nothing wrong. Oh, somebody ought to shout, God, send me somebody who really got my back and who won't stab me in it. Send me somebody, God.
Oh.
My God, today, woo, not I will cover my friends and still say they ain't did nothing wrong. Yeah, well, you know.
Because I got confused. First, I thought he was talking about a relationship. Then he went to friends. I think
he transitioned a little bit.
Okay.
You know how pastors, they start one way, they carry a different way. Okay. What y'all think about that?
I feel like depending on the context, it could be taken a few different ways. Like how do you feel about a 50-50 relationship? I think people automatically jump to money probably when you hear that, which is where my mind went first. But he's right in some of his points just about of course, if in a romantic relationship, for instance, you're not always going to be at 100% or the one person may be down. So it's, you're there as a life partner potentially or whatever the case may be, to support them when they're down, not coming into a relationship at that deficit per se. If I didn't take it as him saying it that way. You're just jumping into a relationship and you only bring in 10%. No. But if during the course of that relationship, if something happens, then you're there to support that other person. I'm with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not necessarily like you said, money, but just in general, maybe just having a bad day. Maybe you're down, so you're not at 100% with your energy, and So I get that.
I can agree with that. But I'm like you, Hayward. You can't come to the relationship in a deficit.
Yeah, you definitely can't.
Now, if we are together and you come and you might not have, or even you said, Ronnie, your energy could be off that day. I'm gonna pick up the pace, or I'm gonna pick up what you missing. But not coming in with a deficit, not coming in with an attitude, not coming in with $0, not coming in with an attitude. But eventually, people have bad days. You might lose your job. I was with a dude. I lost my job. He was looking at me. I said, "You gotta go." Like, what?
Is that what you told him?
You lost your job? Is that what you said? And you told him he gotta go?
You gotta go.
Why do you have to go?
That's what you about to do. Get out. Go wherever you be at, but you got to go.
Is this reverse psychology?
I didn't want it. It was just I'm like, okay, I just lost my job. You probably gonna make it extra stressful.
But what if you wasn't killed? We didn't even give him a chance.
I'm about to say, how much time did you give him?
0 hours. As soon as I walked in the door, he was like, "What's wrong with you, bitch? I lost my job."
What's wrong with you? I'm saying, is this reverse psychology?
I didn't know what we were doing here.
You gotta go.
What if you let him go and he was like, you didn't even give him a chance to say, "Baby, you know what? I got you." You didn't even give him a chance.
You could have missed your blessing.
Oh, honey.
I did not. That was a blessing to get rid of, because I was like, I just came in the house. He's playing a game. I I
Did he work? Maybe we didn't ask the right question. We didn't ask the right question because what I'm sensing is, are you speaking from a trigger? So let's go back. Clearly, we didn't ask the right questions.
Trigger alert.
So you needed to let him go because you needed to lighten your load. You didn't say that, Kim.
Yeah, you left that.
So he contributes, but I was like, well, how long can you contribute from the streets?
So he didn't.
You gotta go. He got a job
playing that game on the day you got fired. Set you right.
I was like, nigga, I'm bringing in groceries from somebody who used a food stamp card to get some groceries for us. You gotta go.
So now, if you walked in and he was washing dishes, mopping and shit, that motherfucking game. That's what it was.
But you,
I get it.
Get the fuck out. What? Get the fuck out. And I was like, and I never felt bad. After I was like, bro, I'm about to figure, and I moved to the hood, and it made more sense. I was like, let me move and get myself together and live my best life. And I did. I was like, you know what? I got to go to the hood to live. I was living in a townhouse. I went to this 2-bedroom apartment, and I had Mr. Terry across the hall. I said, come on, Mr. Terry, keep an eye on my house. I moved to the hood. $4.95 per month.
Shout
out to the world. Bring those prices back, please.
Long gone.
Please. Long gone. But no. So you gotta know your mate. Like if your mate is having a bad day, or if they lost their job, or they can't bring 50% or 100%, can you pick up the load? And a lot of people can't. Some people don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Even as a friend. Sometimes friends don't know how to do that.
More often so as a friend, honestly. Like
yes.
Friends. I will say I love that I have friends that we can call each other out on a crap and not, you know what I'm saying, get mad. Like my Kim here. She's my cousin, but that's like forever. That's my now we're gonna tell each other when we wrong. And she's told me I was a couple times, and it's like but she gonna put her shoes on and ride with it. We gonna do whatever we ain't got no business doing. And she gonna tell me in the car now. Now you know
this is the old me. This is the old me. mycase.com.
So she would tell me we ain't gotta, and I ain't even really gotta get into stuff with her, Kim. I'm about to come get you. We just about to do some. She's like, all right. And she gonna give me a lecture in the car, you know, whatever. She gonna ride with me. That's, you know, and I'm gonna ride with her every time. Now I have gotten to the point now where I will text her some stuff I know I ain't got. I know. And then I just text her and I say, I don't want to talk about it. And she'll tell me, okay, we're gonna circle
your
back.
Favorite line.
I don't want to talk about it. And she's like, we're gonna circle back. And we'll circle back later. I try to make it later, and then she always comes with me now, bitch, I ain't forgot.
But yeah, because Stovall is the queen of that. She'll put a little note in her phone and a reminder.
Baby, when she say table it,
she do.
I want my friends and family in the world to know that literally in my mind, there's so much that's going on that some days I want you to get the best version of me. Yes. So sometimes I can't rush to that. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I don't want you to think that I'm ignoring it. I don't want you guys to think it's on my time. It's just sometimes I feel like you might not get the best version of me at some of the time. So if I'm tired, if my bandwidth has already been met for the day, you know what I mean? I might speak from a different spot. So
and that's self-awareness because people they're not self-aware.
Or too, Kim, we're not ready to, because I know there's been times when I know that you have wanted to talk to me, but I wasn't ready to hear it yet. And I wasn't going to take in whatever you were saying because at that time I was 100% wrong, but damn it, I'm right. And I don't want to hear it right now because I'm right and I don't care. And
that's all of us.
And I don't care.
Yeah, that's all of us.
Yeah. So Ronnie,
that's real.
Ronnie, so
was that? Shit.
I said, that's real.
No, what episode was that? I said, fuck her. I don't want
one or two.
Which one? I mean, take your pick.
Yeah, one or two. I said, I hung up. Don't, and baby Mario called me, Pierre called me. You know she love you. I might fuck her. But I mean, I love you back now. So, but in that moment,
love you too.
I want to hear it.
My God.
I just want to add a footnote. Next time you're mad at somebody, allow them to know you're mad, because I didn't even fucking know what was going. I really thought
in my world.
I really thought that you lost your reception. Kim said, "Bitch, I'm not answering this phone." I said, "Is that what happened?"
I'm going to bed. Fuck her.
Wow.
Lord. So, Ronnie, would you say Stovall is the person you go to be your voice of reason?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Her. I got a couple other ones, but I know with her. Now I do. Don't get me wrong. I have my mom, because it's normally Kim or my mom are always my top picks. But I have other friends too. But I just know, with Kim, I can lay it all out. Like I can tell exactly what I've done.
Can you?
I've done without, some friends you can go and talk to, and you're gonna kind of paraphrase because you don't really want to say
what you might omit a thing.
Yeah. Now with Kim, I can just, and even if I try not to, she gets to laughing first, and she's like, "All right, now, bitch, what you do? Tell me. I need to know. Tell me what happened.
Tell me the story again.
Yeah, tell me this, and don't leave out what you said or what
not you interrogating her.
Right. So yeah, she can definitely. She's definitely my voice of reason.
Oh, that's good. That's good. We all would need that. We all need that. I don't.
And she sometimes, I've been her sometimes. I'm like,
look at that. Yes, God.
Mario, I sense a bit of skepticism in your voice.
Me too. I was waiting to hear her say something.
I would not know, because I wouldn't say that she's not my voice of reason, but our conversation don't go quite like that though. But okay.
The lies that you tell.
She quick to stop you in your tracks and be like, "Now wait a minute, best friend. That's okay." So I
now if the other person's wrong, she's definitely gonna be like, "No, they got you messed up." And No.
She's
you didn't hear him.
We're talking. It's like I'm never in the right. I'm just joking. That's untrue. That's untrue. But no, she. I think she's definitely somebody to talk to that will give you both perspectives.
The truth.
You can't go to her and be like, expecting her to be like, yeah. Mm-hmm. She can be like, I don't know. Now and then she'll hear what you tell me it again.
And sometimes you don't want to, because then she want to break it down. And I'd be like, Kim, I don't care about that right now. She's like, and she goes so deep, and it's like, I don't want to get that deep. Just what?
Yeah. We all are just so every day we operate from our mind only. We got to leave that space.
You're absolutely correct. So I appreciate it, because then there are sometimes that in that moment I may not be ready to really appreciate the advice that's given or something like that, but once I give it some thought, it's valid advice and stuff like that. So I give you that.
She is. Just for you viewers to get a good whatever of her. Let me give you a scenario. You're at a bar, okay? Nobody, you don't even know this person, and they coming by and say hi or sit down and try to talk to one of the girls at the table, and all she says is, "So what's your story?" And it turns, I think I said this before, it turns into a whole thing. So like 45 minutes, an hour later, this person is still talking to her, and I'm hearing her say, "That's childhood trauma from what your mama." How do you know what their mom did? What's happening here? We're drinking. What's going on?
But that's because she's not drinking.
Yeah. And now they're friends. And she gave a whole counseling session.
True, Kim. True.
Right? True. Yeah, because she's not drinking. Kim is that one who you can. I met her. She was like, "Kim, you was wrong." I was like, "You don't fucking know me." But because we was having a round table, that's why I love her so much, because she made our family better as far as like talking to each other and trying to unpack some things. And again, Pierre's my favorite. So at this time, I had got like a payout. Pierre got the most money. Like, I didn't have to give my kids nothing, but I gave Pierre the most money. I gave my middle child the least money. And in an argument, I said, "Bitch, that's why I gave Pierre the most money." And Kim was like, "That was not nice, and that was wrong."
Not nice. That was true.
I was like, "Fuck her." Kim was like, "No,
my God.
Number two.
Exactly. Lord. All right, so let's get into this next clip.
Now at a point in time where people are talking about Biden is too old. Hell, I'm older than Biden.
You look good, Congresswoman.
And I get up every morning.
All right.
And I exercise.
All right.
And I work late hours.
All right.
I take care of black people.
All right.
Trump has told you who he is. He defined himself. He is a no good, deplorable, lying, despicable human being. And he's talking about if he doesn't win, there's going to be a bloodbath. There's going to be violence. There's going to be a civil war. Who the hell do you think he's coming after? Who's going to be targeted? Who is he talking about? But you know he means business because he is the one that led the invasion on the Capitol January 6th. Now, do we have to talk about the difference between these two? Now, I want to tell you, no matter what anybody says, it ain't going to be no other Democratic candidate. It's going to be Biden, and we better know it.
Yeah. All right. Sound like she should be on the ballot.
Sound like good.
No.
Can I just say real quick before we get real deep into this? I love Auntie, and she is older than Biden, but if we're going to be for real, a Caucasian old and a black old are two totally different old.
Yes, agreed. And also, I just feel like it seems that she's in a better mental space than Biden.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, she is very Eric Mays-ish to me. So,
baby, and I love
him. She's very what now?
Mays.
Eric Mays. Do you know that guy? Was he Detroit, Flint, Michigan?
Pierre needs to pull up some of his clips, baby.
He was the city council county. Yeah.
He would gather them,
but he passed away.
Gather
last year, right at the end of last year.
Was it? I thought it was beginning of this year, or maybe.
Maybe so. Yeah, maybe so. But just recently. But anyway, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people are divided. I don't know if people are going to. But I think a lot of people are still holding out hope that Biden concedes or whatever, decides to, say that he's not running. But we already saw that he said that I'm running. So I don't know. I mean, I would hope that people aren't voting or planning to vote for Trump because they feel like Biden is old and incompetent. Like I just can't wrap my head around that.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to ask you guys.
I heard someone say it. I forgot what I was watching. I heard someone say, okay, Biden's old. He gets caught up on his words and stuff sometimes. Granted, does he know what he's doing? I believe so, but maybe the speaking thing is whatever. However, don't look at it as you're voting for him. You may have to look at it like maybe
voting for the Democratic Party.
Yeah, for a Democratic Party, but also because if something happens, she's the one that got to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to step up. So you kind of got to
look at it both ways.
Yeah, but I just feel like I know who I can't vote for. I guess that's
where it is.
That's
who
where
you can't vote for. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And then there has to be more just, I think, spoken about like voting for these off people or like, you have like the, what are they called? Like maybe like Green Party people or like other candidates that, like they have no chance in winning. So that messes up the situation too. So it's like, that's not going to help either.
Yeah, that is very true.
I got a question for you guys. When you guys vote for the president, do you vote for the actual person or the administration? Just in previous years, be honest.
Just the president.
No, I vote for the administration.
Administration, and mainly because too, I make sure I look up all the locals around because like the school's important, the buses are important. I mean, even though the kids are in private school, I still look at all the candidates for like the township schools and stuff and the public schools like within the city, because really those are the people that really count, that can do something. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I try to I look at all that stuff. I look it up.
Best friend.
Read up on them and see what they want to do.
I vote for the administration as well.
Yeah. So I guess I'm trying to figure out of all of the administrations that's been in office, the only active president that I've seen be active is actually Trump. He's the one that actually I've seen like call shots. Every other administration before him, people always say like he's not making the decision, he's not calling the shots. Only Trump. And I think it's because he's a bully, right? Like he doesn't do anything per the process, right? So two things I have for this one. I wonder why we're so pressed on the person Biden when he doesn't call the shots. The president doesn't call the shots. They're the spokesperson. Every administration, tell me what administration outside of Trump's administration have you ever not heard people say like disregard him? What is the Supreme Court talking about? What are the locals talking about? Or he doesn't call the shots anyway. But you don't hear that for Biden. Everything is about Biden. Trump, I feel, was different because he's a bully. So what process has he followed thus far?
But even with him saying stuff and calling stuff and saying that he's done things, he can say something out his mouth. That stuff still has to go through the what's the names. Like it still has to be voted on. So even though he's a bully and he says this stuff and puts it into play, not all of his stuff went through. Everything didn't go through that he said he was going to do because they didn't all vote on it. Some stuff went through, but not everything. So a lot of his shit still got shut down, even though he's just loud and saying that this has happened. I'm signing this executive order because a lot of people think, oh, well, he signed the executive order. That's done.
They already voted on it.
That's right.
I think also, though, I think that the whole thing about Biden is becoming a distraction. And honestly, with this being such a crucial election, I think that we can't afford to have anybody showing any sign of weakness. And so that's maybe why the focal point is on his person, is because he doesn't come across as strong as we would need him to be, or as we think he should be, as he should represent to go up against, like him or love him or hate him. Trump has that persona about himself that he's able to, win people over. Like he's the kind of person that can talk about you, dog you out to your face, and then you'll be like, huh? Okay, well, you know what I'm saying? If you're not smart. And a lot of people that is following him are in that category. If you think about it, he's the voice of the unseen in a lot of cases. And so that's why people flock. He's saying the stuff that, most people probably would like to say, or some people would like to say, but can't say because they know they get their ass beat. So that's why he's able to do that. And so if you think about it, you see that persona, and he's out here, he's doing his thing, he's saying these things, all that kind of stuff. And then you got Biden looking old and feeble. So it becomes about the person. He's giving you strength, and Biden is giving you the different thing, different aspect of it. So then it's like, well, can he really do this job? And then keep in mind, let's not forget, he has a African-American female that he's running with. Is the country really ready for that?
No, they're not. So yeah.
So they also even ready for a white. Yeah.
If he doesn't make it, then she be the president.
Yeah, woman, period. They're not ready for a woman, period.
He definitely has all the charisma and stuff because he's a reality TV person.
That's very true.
That's where he's his best because he likes attention. He likes attention. So he could say a bunch of bullshit, but it's like they're not paying attention to what he's saying. It's like, oh, he does good in front of this camera, even though he's just filling out a bunch of bullshit. That's what he likes. He was pissed at the debate. I don't know if you guys had heard that he was upset that it wasn't a live audience there. He wants I want people here to, like that's his space that he's comfortable in.
I just wish,
like, let me do some shit. I like to do my shit back here behind the scenes and get shit done. I don't got to do all that. But that's where he's comfortable and people love it. He loves to be seen.
I just wish people, before it has gotten this far off and this bad, that people would do their research on politics. Even though I know people say I don't want to get into that, but it matters. I wish they would have, just learned a little, so then they'll understand. Yes, right now, I'll say it, we have a poor team captain. We don't have the most favorable team captain, but it's the team that's going to get stuff done. That has already been getting things done.
But that goes to your point. Like, I think it's just a large percentage of the population are just uneducated on government, so they don't understand what all goes into everything. So it's just like they're focused on the figurehead, like you said, and they don't know about the other supporting parties. Like me personally, like I've never looked up like local like officials and stuff like that. Like I was never into politics, didn't understand how it worked. So I can attest to that and just say like, yeah, like those are things that I'm learning like later in life. But we just we have to kind of like push those people to try to get educated or to get them educated somehow. But
But if you think about it too, with this new immunity situation that took place, think about that. So we're saying, oh, he ain't gonna be, he's gonna have to go through the red tape to get things done. Yes, he will. But when stuff like this comes out, it makes the people, especially his supporters, feel like he's invincible. So he can, he can make things happen. So I think that's the reason why he's got the charisma and all those type of things on his side that are allowing the people that follow him to feel like, he can get it done. It's unfortunate.
Going back to your other question, Mario, where you were saying like just to smash up Trump versus Biden. I wish people would start to think in this mindset. Mario, I'm gonna ask you, for your old employer, was your dislike for your old employer greater than your paycheck, or is your or is your mentality about your paycheck greater than the dislike for your old employer?
I mean, my paycheck was the first and foremost. Yes, but everybody don't think like that. So
I know, and I'm just saying, I wish people did. I wish, because right now everything is like in a gumbo pot, right? I wish people can take stuff out. Yes, Biden is old. Yes, he is not a great team captain right now. But is that greater? Would you rather have that, or would you rather have the stuff that Trump is going to bring? Which one do you like? Which one do you prefer?
That's a better question to be posed. I'm sorry, hey, real quick.
No. I was going to say it's definitely the lesser of two evils.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
And I think it's a better question to ask the newer generations, because that's who's really going to help push the envelope on some of those things, and a lot of them really don't care. I mean, when I say don't care, it's to your point, they're not paying attention to the administration and stuff like that, and they are seeing, they value stuff like that. To see him out here, talking about people and putting people down, that to them, gets a rise out of them. And then you got some of these celebrities that are out here promoting Trump, some of their faves, and so they're feeling, oh, if so-and-so like them, they're gonna vote for him. Well, I should too, but not realizing, dumbass, these people will have a little more protection than you are, because they got probably a little bit more money than you. And so what you gonna do?
Yep, different bucket. You're not up there with not what's the look my no hands. You ain't got the same money as him. Waka Flocka. You don't have the same money as him. Yeah. You don't even have the same money as any of these people that you're following. So the rules that don't apply, they got Trump. They don't have Trump money, but they got the same category with
Trump money, because let's not be deceived. He really ain't that rich.
He sure ain't.
Well, wait a minute. I disagree with that. He used to be before them deductions started coming out. Man, y'all don't think Trump got some money hidden?
I think he has some money, but I don't think it's to where Homie says it is. I 100% don't. Do I think he got some money? Yeah.
You got to remember, Stovall, a lot of these companies use his name. Mm-hmm. They're not. It's not that.
But I think he got the money and the power, and I think
I beg to differ. There was a special. I don't know. I forgot what it was, but they talked about him, Rudy Giuliani, a couple other people. Whatever that mobster was back in the day. And that's when I realized that he wasn't as rich as he said he was. He filed bankruptcy a couple of times, like
4 times.
Yeah, because he had literally he might have a little bit off of that name, but it's not to what you.
It's not what we think,
So why does he make other politicians shake? What does he have on them?
His voice.
The first debate, everybody up there, he's funded in some type of major way. Mm-hmm. So if he doesn't have money, and none of them said anything, go back to his very first debate. All of them was on stage. They didn't say nothing.
But I didn't say he didn't have money. I said he's not as rich as we think he is.
Yeah, he's not as rich as you think he is. And also,
money, not as
that he's paying them I 100% think that it's more so, y'all get me in here and whatever you asked me for, I'm gonna make sure you get it. Type shit. I think that's more
empty promises. He's like a pimp. You know what I'm saying? He reminds me of a pimp. You know, talking in circles, stuff like that. This, that, and third. I mean, look how many people get caught up with the pimp. You know, saying, "Oh, really, daddy? Okay, you go. Okay, yeah." You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, you ain't getting shit. He done took. You know, you done made $100. He done took $80. And you got $20. Oh, thank you, daddy. That's how. Yeah, you know. So it's unfortunate. I think we should get circle back and really have an episode really deal with some of just the election and some of the stuff. I know Ronnie, you opposed to us all to kind of get in tune with the Project 2025. So I think once we
have shots to send you guys to our thing because it's like 900 pages, but to really break it down so under each category you can see like help Medicaid, all that stuff. I don't want to say wrong, the LGBTQ plus.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah.
Like to kind of show all the stuff that they basically are looking at to really go through. So I had that.
I really think that we should circle back on that and really, once everybody has just, I'm not saying you read it all, but just have a good understanding of it so we can really discuss it. That'd be great. Maybe it might even turn into 2 episodes because it is a lot to cover, and I'm sure we all will have some kind of
different opinions
on that and stuff like that. So we need to circle back on that. So I'll put the note for that. We won't labor the producers to do that. I'll put a note in for that so we can come back and circle back on that and go for that. So my question for you all today, I have 2, but I'll start with this one. Is your love / support conditional? Is your love / support conditional? And it doesn't necessarily always have to be in the romantic standpoint when we think about love being conditional, but is it conditional? Is your love or support conditional?
I think it depends. I think it depends on the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Elaborate.
Like who, in terms of like if it's a friend or or I guess even a family member. It just depends what happens to you or what like incident occurs between in that relationship that may cause your love to be conditional. Like so for instance, like if a friend like grossly like violates you or like your child or something like that, then yes, my love is, or I guess that's not like a great example, but that would still be like if you love them prior to that, then after that situation, that love could definitely become conditional after that, or like even non-existent. And my just that was just a very.
So I feel it. But for you, so what would be something that you would say, listen, that would make it your love conditional? I already know kind of where Stovall stands on this because she's very transparent about her love being conditional. But that's why I said love or support and not just in a romantic setting.
Right. And that's why I said not like a partner, but just even if it's a friend or a family member, like, because it just from those titles, they don't mean it's not unconditional love. Like if you don't have a relationship there, then I feel like it is conditional. Even I feel like I do have some relatives where I feel like the love is conditional, like, or I don't even want to say it's conditional. Honestly, maybe it's there, but it's kind of like feigning, if you will. So maybe, I'm going to table that for myself and just think more so on what that would really mean.
Okay, we'll give you some time.
Circle back to me
and come back to you because I'm curious to hear what you have to say. Mama Kim, what do you have to say?
Mine's conditional. I think about it because my life story. With my grown kids, when I had small kids, with my grandkids, I think it's not unconditional. I think
what makes it unconditional? What makes it not unconditional?
I think I do things sometimes thinking that because I did something for you, you're going to automatically do something for me. And then when you don't, my feelings is hurt, maybe. I can't explain it. I feel like, okay, I'll do something, but then in the argument, I might bring it back up. Like, oh, bitch, I gave you $200, but I gave it to you with no conditions. But then I felt like you taking advantage of me. So then I'm like, maybe I need to do this more conditional to my family, but to my man who I'm sleeping with or I love, it don't. I think I can do and don't think nothing about it until they say. I'm gonna give you an example because this is the only way I can think about it. When I was married the second time, so me and my husband did 50-50 on all the bills except for our car notes because we both had cars before we met. All the other bills half. Now, when we married, I adopted his kids also. So we had his kids, my kids, we had 5 kids. I carried the insurance for the whole family, but I never put that in the bill pile as 50-50. I just took care of it. So when his car got paid off, he said, I think I should pay less on the bills. I said, why? I've always carried the insurance and I've never asked for half of that. So all of a sudden, my contribute to my love became a condition because now you got to pay 50% of this damn healthcare.
But that's so weird to me. Like he paid off his car and then felt like he had to pay less after that. Like if any, I thought you were about to say he was gonna put in more.
That's what I
nope.
Like
nope. And I was like, I've been paying majority, and because I love you, I never said anything about it until now. It's conditional from you saying, "Hey, my car note paid off. I should pay less." I'm like, you sound stupid.
Yeah.
Because I've been paying this health insurance for 2 years, and I was getting $450 taken out of my check, but because I've never seen it, it never equated to my income.
So
he said, "Hey, my car note's paid off." I'm like, that's not how this works.
So you basically, if you basically are somebody that will give with a free heart, kind heart, stuff like that, until you feel like you're being taken advantage of, then that changes it. That changes. Okay, got you. Ronnie, what would make your love or support conditional?
I guess I would have to say, I think it would make it conditional if I see that, and I know that everybody is not always going to do the same that I do. And it doesn't even have to be like with money or anything, just even being a friend, being there, calling to check on each other. Because we don't have to talk every day. None of that. Just that's what friends or family. And there's some, like Hayward said, there's some family that I just don't. I mean, I might see you like we have something and everybody's there. And I'm like, hey, but other than that, I don't. Never mind. But just not putting in the same effort, I guess. I think that's kind of where I'm at. Like if we only talk because I reach out to you, or if I only hear from you, or you reach out first when you need something or want something, or can you get a ride, or can I watch your kids, or can you borrow some, if that's the only time, then that's conditional and I really can't too much deal with you, I guess, if that makes sense. But normally I give you everything I got. Well, I don't mean it like that, but I'm a good friend. I'm a good like family member, cousin, daughter, all of that is what I'm saying. But I'm gonna give what you give, I guess.
Yeah, I guess the downfall is that I think sometimes we move into situations where we feel like we expect. I think I seen this on a thing, quote or something that the other day. Something like you expect people to pour into you as you pour, and it's not always the case. And so, I mean, I guess that's life, and so who's wrong in that situation? Are you wrong for expecting this from somebody, or are they wrong for taking advantage of the situation?
And I don't even think I expect it. I really don't. I don't go into anything expecting it because I feel like if you go in something with expectations, you're already putting a condition on it. It is what it is. This is just me being me. That's just who I am. So then if it's not match, because it's nothing for me just to text and say, hey, I'm just checking on you, see how you doing, or something like that. But if it's,
and it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah, it doesn't cost nothing.
Yeah.
But do you feel a way if somebody don't do that for you?
No, that doesn't because I am to the point, and I've been to the point where actually took me having kids to really understand people have lives. Sometimes you can't sit and just text and call somebody every day or see what you like. I can't.
Yeah, no. I have to respectfully disagree with that, because I feel like just as I have a life and I maybe have that stuff going on, but if I take the time out of my day, out of my life to check on you or something like that, then at some point I would want to be on the receiving end of that. So
yeah, and that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not going to make excuses for it, because, and I only say this because for so long I have been one to make excuses for people to say, oh, but no, you ain't that's not a new thing right now. You ain't no more important than I am. But for so long, no, seriously, because for so long I had lived a life where I made people feel like they were more important than me, and so. And at the end of the day, when I'm thinking about like being my love or my support being conditional, I wish that it was more conditional at certain times for certain people, because it might have saved me some, I probably wouldn't be, going to therapy every week now, but it would be, I would probably, be in a different mindset. And so when I realized that, like I said before, that people will wrong of me to feel like I'm going to get exactly what I'm putting out there in the atmosphere. And so when I ask the question, who's wrong? You for expecting it, because in certain ways, it sounds like there is a slight expectation when you're doing something, or that person for not, for thinking of themselves. I don't know. I mean, it's a case by case scenario for you to decide on who's really wrong. I might say, well, I'm wrong. I should have wisened up. I should have, saw the signs, and I should have just on some other days. I might say, no, that motherfucker should have seen this. You know what I'm saying? And they wrong for doing that, and they know what they went on shit and all, like, you know what I'm saying? So I guess it's a case by case scenario. But
I just don't. As long as I don't like if I only hear from you and you're asking. When I hear from you, you're asking for something. Then that's like a no. Like, my friends and the family that I do, I'm going to say this in my circle, that I really do like mess with. Again, it's not an everyday thing, but how I check on them, they check on me. Now, the ones that would call only if they wanted something, I don't get calls or anything, because that's shut down now. So It's like, if that's the only time I hear from you, that's the problem. Like, it's different if, you know what, Ronnie, hey, I'm sorry, I've been meaning to text you. How are you and the kids? What's going on? I saw this. Stuff got big, because I know I'm like that. I will see a text and I'm in the middle of something, and I'm like, and I have that bad. Mario, I have that. Like, I will read.
No, but I see, and that's to me, I don't agree with that, because I think that's excuses, and I think that sometimes people, the way I feel right now in my life is this: people will they'll tell you anything because it sounds good, and they don't think that you're going to think it through. And so something like that is, oh, girl, I've been meaning to text you. If you've been meaning to text me, you've been meaning to call me, why didn't you?
Because
I don't always agree with that. So I'm with Ronnie. I get it. I don't agree with that. I think it depends on where it's coming from, because for me, like with where it relates to relationships, because I'm fine like that with text messages. Like, I'll respond to a text message. I don't have issue in doing that or responding. But if I reach out to somebody, like, it is what it is. For a long time, like, I'm the type of person, like, I will reach out to check on somebody, see how they're doing, whatever. I'm not necessarily expecting that in return. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, like, I may go a month or two without talking to a friend, and it's okay. We can pick back up like after that, and that's okay. Like, I'm okay with that. Because that's fine in that scenario. But and if I text somebody and they don't text back, for me, I guess it's not that big of a deal. Like, if I'm reaching out, like, and texting, if I'm texting you for something specifically, maybe, and you're not there, and you're like, oh, I meant to XYZ, whatever, maybe then I'll look at you or like feel like you could have reached out, whatever. But in the grand scheme of things, like, that stuff doesn't really like bother me a lot. I think just because I know how I am and how my heart is when it relates to reaching out to people and just having it reciprocated. So, right. And you can feel that. Like, I feel like that's definitely on a case by case basis, because it's not going to be, you can kind of tell, like you said, it's fair for you to like think something through and feel like, hey, because I do hate that. I hate when people are like, oh, I was thinking about you the other day and da 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 da. And I get it, but also that there can be truth to that in some instances. I'm not saying it's always the case, but I think that can happen.
Yeah, and granted, this is one specific thing we're talking about, as relates to reaching out or text message or something like that. And so, but my point is though that sometimes people will wait until you make the first move, and then they'll be like, "Oh, you know what, girl? I was about to. Hey, I was going to do this. I was about to do this, and the third." And I don't fall for that. I don't believe that. Okay. I don't believe that.
See, I can say with my group of friends, I know that it's probably you probably really did, or I text you or you, because I know that I'm good at, I will see a text today and I think I answer it or I mean to answer it, but I get to doing something else. Then it could be tomorrow evening and I'm like, girl, what's up? I totally fucking forgot to even message you back. It's not like months or weeks down the line. It's like
I get that. And I guess if we move out of the realm of just communication or texting or something like that, beyond that, people, I found that in situations just in life in general, it's when you make the first move, whatever it is, then that's when certain people will be like, oh, that's when they decide to clock in. No, do you know what I'm saying?
I believe that to be true for certain people or in certain, situations. But are you saying it from that lens, or are you just saying it in general? Because it sounded like you were saying in general, you just don't buy that.
Well, no, I guess what I was saying, I was trying to move past just the communication aspect or the lack thereof, or not reciprocating communication. Because for me, it goes beyond just the communication realm. It's just in general. But I see Stovall, you shaking your head. What you got to say?
Well, I came in this world with conditional love. So
what do you mean?
Yeah, my love is conditional. Like, it's not unconditional. And it's based off of humans. Like, we're humans. We are in a world of sin. So you don't know which way somebody's going to go. So back to your original question, before you got to the second question, your original question was, is your love and support conditional? My love and support unconditional or conditional? It's conditional. And you said why? It's because I'm dealing with humans and we could fall short for any reason. Drugs, depression, just the way you are, the way you're wired, your triggers, it doesn't matter. So it's very conditional.
It is.
So I would say that even my love for my child is unconditional. And the only thing that I can bring up and think about that I will post to the group is, if you had two children and one slaughtered the other child, or injured the other child, how do you go about? At that point, I think that some condition is going to kick in.
Oh, and
I would have to think of another scenario for those that don't have children.
You don't have to.
Because there was a scenario where a mom had two children.
I was going to say, Kim, you talked. Is that the one we talked about?
Mm-hmm. Yes. One child messed with the other child, and he had to go away. So now the scenario is, what does this mother or what does the parents do? Because you got your child at home that's been messed with and traumatized, and you have the predator that's your child that's away. So do you just leave your predator child by itself, no support? Do you as the parent just go support that child solo so that the other family doesn't have to deal with them? But even doing that, that's already made your love have some type of condition.
And with that situation, just to give it, I think she tried the little girl she was just mean spirited, tried to kill the younger brother that I think was like 3 or 4. She ended up going into a hospital, and then they were talking about, well, we want to release her. She wants to come home to you. And the mom's like, my baby.
Right there, it went straight conditional.
Yeah.
So Kim, this is a good one to circle back around to you for, because so even as a parent, we say unconditional. So that's what I'm saying. Me, myself, I show up in the world, my support and love is conditional. Because if I feel that the shit that you doing can get me locked up and I've never been locked up, we're gonna have to rethink this. Mm-hmm. So best friend, I love you, but the shit that I would do now, and the shit, if it's me, I can't do that. I'm not gonna get locked up. I want my food, I need it well done. I need my motherfucking sleep.
Well, I'm scared of jail anyway, so I'm not gonna do nothing to make me go to jail.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So, and then you don't have people like me and you. I feel like I've put you in situations where I'm like, no, I'm about to be on some bullshit. Go ahead. You don't get that with Eric. You know what I'm saying? You don't get that in the world today. People are not thinking about that. People are really like, nah, do this with me, ride with me, fucking free little. No. So Yeah, I just feel like it's conditional. Even when it comes down to children, I know it sounds great to say our love for our child is unconditional. That shit is PC. So
yeah, no, it is.
It's not true.
I don't think there's any such thing as unconditional love, like because, like you said, to that point, like we're all human, and something is going to happen at some point that is going to cause you to have to make some sort of decision that's going to impede.
Right.
Or override unconditional love.
Like, yeah, what if you marry your spouse and that person messes with children? Didn't do anything to you, perfect husband or wife to you, but they mess with children. Those people pop up at your door saying, if you don't tell your wife, I'm going to tell you. What do you do?
Yeah.
That was never real life for me.
Never touched your family, but they touching other kids.
That was a real life scenario in my real life. And my person stayed. And as a grown person now, they explain like it was more monetary reasons why they didn't leave. I'm like,
usually it is. It's how if I remove this thing, how is my life going to look? And it's usually their love for their life is greater than whatever evil they needed to remove. Yeah, so just through stuff, and I hate to say it, but through trauma, through triggers, this is how I learn this stuff because it's serious. Like, it's serious. Like, I'm going to say this, and vulnerable moment, I'm going to put it out there to the world, and I'm not even going to say per color, but I think it's really screwed up that I can say that I've slept with the same person that slept with my mother and my baby sister. That's nasty. But it's my reality. I got to live with that. It's not going to change. It's already happened. It happened for years. So what do we do with that? I was not protected. I was not supported. You know what I mean? I don't even talk to my mom now, but it's things like that. Like, and it's because clearly there was some kind of benefit there with that person that she thought was greater than her children.
Your child. That's right. And
it happens. It happens. It can happen to the most loving person. It can happen to the most charismatic person. All of that, but it happens. Why? Because we're human. Drugs, mental breaks. You don't know how they're wired. Anything. What their childhood traumas are. Where are they coming from? And that's the stuff we don't talk about.
Some people are not ready to talk about it. Because them questions have been them same questions that you're talking about, or even just speaking to. I had them same conversations. I'm like, how did your mother raise you? Were you touched as a child? Why do you think, or why was it okay? Why didn't you protect us? But I protected myself. But my sister never was able to protect herself. And when we got older, like me and my sister didn't talk for 10 years. And she told me, and I thought that hoe was crazy. I said, fuck her. I'm like, fuck that. But come to find out, she was protecting me because she didn't want me to go to jail because I said I would kill him. And she did not want my kids to not have a mother because she already knew I had already threatened him once. I said, bro, you touch me ever fucking again in your life, I will kill you with my bare hands. And I was 16 years old. So now I get pregnant with Pierre. I move out. Of course, what he do? He move on to my younger sister. And she never told me until she was probably in her 30s. She's like, he was doing all of these things to me. And I never told you because I didn't want your kids to not have a parent.
Mr. Producer, bring this back around. Why is that the one sin and one cardinal crime that is always swept under the rug?
That's right.
But we're worried about the LBGTQ community. We're worried about Donald Trump and all of that. Why is this the one topic that's always swept under the rug? It's always the one that nobody wants to talk about because it's their brother, it's their child, it's their uncle, and it's their daddy.
That's right.
Don't want to talk about it.
And I can honestly say I wouldn't give a fuck in none of them situations. Everybody got to die behind one of them.
Baby, you already know where I stand.
Everybody got
Mario will tell you when I met him, my daddy, everybody know how I feel about my daddy. Everybody know how I feel about Mario, I don't care. I'm sitting in front of Aubrion. If Aubrion's there, because in my mind I'm working for a trigger. Aubrion, has Mario ever said anything inappropriate to you? Mario's right there and my daughter's right there, because I need to paint the picture to her. Love Mario, but Aubrion is greater than. I need to paint the picture to her that my relationship with Mario is not greater than her. So I need her to feel safe, because I didn't. This was a deacon from my church that I didn't even know my mama was screwing. This supposed to be your best friend.
That's right.
So I didn't feel comfortable telling you, because in my eyes, you like this man. This man is on a pedestal. My daddy, boo. Did Granddaddy say, has Granddaddy ever said anything? Have you ever felt? I don't care who it is. And I had to reinforce that. No matter what their title is, you are most important to me.
But you
have to tell me anything. I want you to know you can tell me
anything about anybody.
Yes, and that's how and it was crazy, because how you saying that now, Kim? When my daughter got proposed to, basically like, hey, I'll give you some money, and she's a money hungry nigga, baby. She was like, what? How much? And he said 25. She was like, bitch, I'm about to call my mama. But I had already set it up in her head. If he ever say, touch, look at you, do this, call me. And I got that call. And when I say I was sick, because my daughter at the time, she was 15. And he was prepping her up, giving her money. Hey, you getting extra shit at the store. She would come home. She got Coach bags at 13, 14. But he was prepping her.
Creepy, like, creating a safe space or a secret space.
Yes. But I had already put it in her head. I said, if he ever come for you, you need to call me. And that day came, and she was crying. She was like, Grandpa sick. I was like, what? I'm like, this nigga, he probably fell down the steps.
So why do we get up there on that pulpit and lie in front of the Lord and say, when we taking them vows, that they unconditional? Why are we so comfortable with that?
That's right.
I mean, because it sounds good. In a lot of cases, we have been conditioned to do and say things that sound good and look good.
That's right. That's right.
I guess. So definitely, I would love to come to circle back on this, because I think that obviously you ladies have a lot to share about this particular topic and such. So to kind of build off of this, as we kind of looking at relationships still, what are two things that you value as it relates to people?
That's a great question.
Yeah, what are two things that you value as it relates to people?
What my biggest one is, even though Mario, I lied to you, honesty. I gotta.
Okay, pot kettle.
Right. Honesty and shit. I don't know my second one, but honesty is one of the number ones.
Honesty. Yeah. Well, I'll give y'all some time to think then.
Well, I was gonna say I'll go. For me, it would be empathy, and just in love at the end of the day. For me, like with empathy, I think oftentimes I think we go through life, and I feel like I've encountered a lot of people that are not empathetic to other people's situations, or just people in general. Like, we've all discussed, like, life is hard, life hits. But I think it's ultimately, like, from human to human, like, it's about having that empathy towards one another that makes us just be better as people. Because once you can step into someone else's shoes and see what else they're going through, you take a moment to step back and just kind of not rationalize, but you take a moment to figure out, like, am I overreacting? Maybe I'm viewing this a certain way. I should look at it a different way. So I think empathy is super important, and love, just because that, I think after everything is stripped away and gone, it's like you do need that love from whoever it is, like whether it be a partner or a parent or a brother, a friend. I think it's important, that keeps us going as people. Like, if we, I think love is just that thing that keeps our battery moving.
What was the question again, Mario?
What are two things that you value as it relates to people? Ronnie, you got yours?
Yeah, I have one. I think one of my biggest ones is being yourself. So many people come forward, and I'm not even just talking about relationship, whether it's at work or just anything, where you are not really yourself. Like you don't have to put on or try to be somebody else or whatever you think I may like or whatever somebody else may like. Just be your authentic self. It's okay. Either I like you or I don't. Either you like me or you don't. And it's okay. But I don't, how can I put it? If you like a version of me that I'm giving you that's not really me, then you really don't like me anyway. So you're not somebody because you don't know me to like me. So I'm big on that because so many people have so many different personas anymore. And it's like, who are you? Like what? Just be yourself. Somebody's gonna like you or they're not. And it's okay because we're not all meant to be liked. Everybody's not gonna like us. It's just fucking life and it's okay. And then there's empathy and there's honesty because I was actually going to say both of those. Big on empathy too. However, it makes me sad that some people take that for granted, big time. It's like, so then you got your couple people that take it for granted and they're faking it or they're lying about it. So now you put up this thing where it's like, I don't even know if I want to, So, but I think that still comes also being yourself. You know what I mean? I guess that kind of intermingles in that, but yeah.
While the other two ladies are thinking, I'll go to piggyback off what you're saying. One of mine is authenticity. A friend of ours, Reggie, has this line that he always says it when he sometimes references when he's talking about his daughter, but it makes sense to me. He says that somebody stole your reality. And so the fact that somebody not being authentic, and I think one other thing he always says is something about people presenting their representative.
Oh, absolutely.
And so when it comes to authenticity, yes, it's unfortunate that people, as you said, Ronnie, put on a show. I work with a young man that thinks that to look the part is better than to be the part. You know what I'm saying? And so all the young kids at work, they marvel in that. Oh, you could drive this car. Oh, you could doing this, you doing that, this, and third. So when he telling me some of these stories or something like that, like, oh yeah, me and my homeboys, we went out this weekend. We spent, our bill was $3,000. That really doesn't impress me, honestly. But to some of these kids, they might think, oh, that's, yeah, you're doing it. But sir, I see how you rummaging through the snack closet at the job. I see how you know what I'm saying. Anytime somebody bring in here, you piggybacking off of it, So obviously, if you had it like that, you wouldn't be, what I'm saying, doing all this you're doing, But it's unfortunate that that people don't feel the need to be authentic in this day and age, and that people kind of really do a good job of building upon what they want people to think of them and stuff like that. And my other one is, which I didn't realize it was as important to me as it is until probably, I guess within the last year, is accountability. Mm-hmm. That is probably, one of the most important things to me right now is accountability. Because I think that sometimes people feel like in order to take accountability, that means to say that you're wrong. And I don't think that's what it says in a lot of cases. Really, accountability is almost just like acknowledging somebody's feelings. Do you know what I'm saying? So when you acknowledge somebody's feelings, you're not saying, I'm wrong or any kind of, you're just acknowledging how they feel. But it's so surprising how people do not want to take accountability because they don't want to be looked at in a different light. And so they, pussy pop around it as much as they can just to preserve their image. And that image may not be your image that you have of them. It could be their image that they have of themselves in their head.
Mm-hmm. We all been around each other too long. Yeah, mine, I was just typing it out. Mine would definitely be your authentic self. I would come from a different perspective of I'm just the way that I am. And I like to be around people that don't judge me.
Okay.
And so from that, usually what I get is that people open up and that makes them their authentic self. So even if that's not the norm for them, knowing that my friendship, my kinship or whatever is no judgment zone, usually that allows them to open up. And I like that because I feel like I've made a difference. You know what I mean? Because I don't know why those people need to feel like they need to get up and they need to wear a mask or be someone else. So if you get around me and you lay that down, and I know you've laid that down, I feel like I've made a difference. So I value that in people. My other one would be just being kind and not having any motives. Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, just like a lot of people nowadays have motives. And if you have motives, just say that.
Just say it.
Just say it. Like, I don't think this is one of the things I think we were talking about the last episode, and I said I wanted to double back. I think any of us that do something, even though we say we don't expect anything in return, I feel that we do. It might not be what I've done for you, it might not be monetary, but you feel some type of way. Like, I feel like if I do something for somebody and then I call them and want to vent and they just don't want to, hear it right now, I'm gonna feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? And it's small, but I just feel that the human behavior, you expect something. Because if I do something for you and then you just I just fall off the face of the earth and you don't ever hear from me anymore, you can't tell me that you're not gonna whisper to your permanent bed partner, your friend, like, you know what, I such and such and such, I ain't heard from this motherfucker no more. You can't tell me that that's not gonna come up, or at least past your mind. So just like, if you have motives, put them out there, because let me accept that. But just be kind. Like, it takes nothing to be kind, and no strings attached. I'm just being kind, but I mean, there is a string attached, so that's a hypocrite. There is a string attached. There is a string attached, but it might not be to the same degree. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
That's it.
Mama Kim, what's your second one?
So, listen to you, all of you guys. I think about this all the time, because 2013, 12, one of them years, I got this tattoo on my back because somebody was talking about Mary J. Blige.
Yes.
Take me as I am, right? I know that I'm a lot, but I did not become a lot.
You don't say.
After I was 26, sir. Because I never had a voice. And I tell people that all the time. I was 26 years old before I ever stood up for myself, before I said no, before I got a confession. So when I wasn't 26, I was probably 23, 24. I got raped by my best friend's brother. Never told her. And when I started raising my kids was not ever, ever, ever allowed to call somebody brother who was not their brother. They couldn't say cousin. They couldn't say none of that, because he was my brother. I didn't have a voice. And I had a man. I came home, because that's when I was wearing pantyhose back then. It was tore up. I came in the house and I never had a voice, and I would be around them like nothing ever happened. I never told my friend. Nobody knew. But at 26 years old, I got my voice. And after I got my voice, I never allowed anybody to do anything else to me where I could not put my own control into it.
Wow.
So when I meet women, and there's a lot of time women, I tell them that story, like, have a voice. Because a lot of times we don't have that opportunity to have a voice. And I never had one. And now I tell the world my story. I might cry. I might get upset. I might laugh. I might do a whole lot of things, but take me as I am, because at 26, I got my voice.
That's brave. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing.
Mr. Producer, put it around. I want to have an episode about triggers because I think that there's a very fine line from people working from a triggered mentality to recognize alerts versus you putting your triggers on people.
Yes.
Like I think it's a super, super, super fine line. That mug like slides into the other one. Because when you're putting your triggers on people, you act a certain way and you want someone to accept that because you're working from a trigger.
Yes.
But what is the fine line when you're working from a trigger to recognize alerts? But sometimes it slips and you putting this on people and then everybody's uncomfortable. So
you're saying what's the difference between recognizing your own trigger versus kind of manipulating the trigger, basically, and kind of like having someone say, I just want to understand what you're saying.
Yeah, so like if I'm working from a trigger because I am trying to recognize red flags. So I'm not rude to you or I'm not expecting you to accept my behavior for something. It's just that when I get riled up and I recognize an alert, knowing that it's from there.
Yeah.
Versus me going through life and Kim, you're like, I never had a voice and people got to accept me how I am and but you're putting that on people.
Right.
So now we're going through your triggers with you when we know it's a trigger, you know what I'm saying? So you're not.
Yeah. So manipulation. Yeah. So manipulating the fact that you recognize that this is a trigger of mine, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah. Because I think it skews your perspective of stuff. Like, yeah.
Okay, cool. I just wrote that down so we can go double back to that because it definitely is a big factor in there, but a lot of other lives triggers. Triggers. All right, thank you guys for that discussion. Thank you for being so very, very transparent, Mama Kim.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely appreciate that.
Yeah.
My goal is to help one person a day.
I know that's right.
Speaking of helping one person, I know this is kind of off the topic, but how is the young lady at your job?
Oh, baby. Woo-hoo! I tell her too. I say, you a topic every week. I tell the people, but she moved into a new apartment. She decorated. She showed me her decorations. She's been laying in the sun, been getting some extra energy. She come in. She been wearing her little tank tops. She tatted up. She just because of you. And that makes me emotional because on my birthday, I was out and I came back and she bought me a dozen of roses.
Oh my gosh.
And
the storm does end.
And she was like, she said, through my clouds, you make me okay. And they were sitting on my desk. She bought me this card because she know I love gym shoes. So she bought me a card and was telling me you are a great boss. And told me thank you because I give her a safe space to tell me how she feels. And so now she I ain't thinking about no leave. I said, come on, girl. Let's go. Thank you. I'm Lord. But yeah, she coming in, she thriving, she's getting recognized. People are saying she's a lot calmer. She has changed a whole lot because I give her a safe space. She's like, I've never had a safe space. So she took the leads because she never had nobody to talk to.
Gotcha. Well, good.
Success story. Great job, Kim.
Yeah, glad you can be a light unto her path. Go ahead, Hayward. What's your little thing?
Right. Thank you.
There it is. Oh, don't be no hater, Ronnie. Ooh.
It was the eyes.
It was giving hater.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah.
I mean,
not today, Lord. All right, guys. So we're gonna slide into this hot seat. All right, so our hot seat person today is Mama Kim. Ain't that it? Ain't that it? I
Let
mean,
me
you've
get my
already shared.
emotions together because I know y'all gonna ask me some silly fucking questions. Come on.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ain't that it? Thanks. We appreciate you.
right.
Lord.
I'm
All right,
gonna go. Oh, go ahead.
who wants to start off?
Me, because she's not gonna talk to me for the rest of the day.
Say, get it out.
I don't want you to answer this one, so I'm gonna have two. I don't want you to answer this one. This is a rhetorical question, and we can talk about it offline.
Okay.
If your mom had a favorite and expressed it, how would you feel?
If you were not that favorite, I'm
So this is the one she's not supposed to answer?
Not supposed
Correct.
to answer.
Oh, okay. Because I got an answer for that one, honey.
Nope, I don't want you to answer. I want you to sit with that one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Even if she does,
Mm-hmm.
how and if it's not you, how does it feel? Or how do you think the other person feel if it is you? However you want to do it. I just want you to sit with that one.
I got it.
All right, to the fun one. If you had to pick 2 characteristics for your next husband, what would be the top 2 characteristics on your list that they must have?
They got to be able to make me laugh. Life so short, and being mean and mad all the time. You got to be able to make me laugh. That's one of the biggest ones. Just make it light. Just be able to make me laugh when I'm sad. Just funny is one of the big ones. The second one.
Of course.
That's it.
All right.
What's the second one?
I feel you're talking from a trigger.
What does that mean? I mean, he got to be at half sex, or what does that mean?
It got to be nice. It has to be enjoyable. It has to be sensual. It has to be a lot of things. It don't just stick it in and be like, no, it has to be intentional sex.
All right.
Can we run an episode back around that if the sex is not good, can you fall in love with a person or love a person later on?
Please, let's see you later on. It's important.
Yes.
Because sweets, I want my life back. I mean,
shit. Shit. Damn it. Shit.
I used a code name.
Code name, cut grass. Anyway, all right, Ronnie, what you got?
Well, first, let me just say this really quick before I get into it, because now I have to. Well, I could kind of change mine. Okay. Well, I do have a question that I had prepared. Hand of God, Kim. Demner said the same question first that I was gonna ask you. I've like literally had this since last week.
I can't answer.
Mine is just a little different. I do not know how me and Kim are like, y'all. So let me throw mine out here.
Okay.
You're more than welcome to answer on camera or off camera.
Okay.
But I might want you to sit with it too, because let me just say this. So we all know who your favorite is.
But
we also know you love those grandkids, okay? So both of your daughters have kids, right?
Yes.
Or just one? Okay. So with how you feel about your grandbabies, if you heard your daughters say in front of all your grandkids which one their favorite was, how would that make you feel?
Okay. I'm gonna pray on it, but I'll give you an answer.
Okay. My next one is this one literally came from earlier today. So when was the last time you had an encounter with the horse?
2 weeks ago.
I had to ask because Kim was questioning.
Oh, that's a sheep. Never mind.
No. Giddy up.
And this horse was in Jamaica?
Yes. I never met a man with a horse like that. So I was like, God.
Girl, please. In all your years, you ain't had a horse.
No. So okay, let me rephrase that. I've had horses, but they didn't know what to do with that horse.
That's fair.
That's a difference.
That's fair. That happens in the world of a woman.
Yes.
Or a man.
Or a man.
World period.
Sorry, I didn't read my room, as Mario tells me.
I have a question. If it's my turn.
Yes, it's your turn.
So what is your dream vacation?
Oh, I want to go to Paris, France. Just for the food. I just want to go for the smells and walking through the streets. I want to go to Paris, France. I do.
Okay.
That's my dream.
You should definitely go. It's beautiful. It's definitely beautiful.
Oh, of course he's been.
Oh, that's I have.
I love a well-traveled man. Come on.
Yeah. Says the man who went to Dubai.
Oh, and period.
Got it.
Hey, well, my mom was over there when she went to Paris. She was there for like 3 weeks, and she was like,
really?
If I could absolutely
live there
next to my grandkids, because she didn't even say me. She said, my grandkids here, we would absolutely stay. And she did like a cooking class and stuff when she was there too. But that was in 2017. So like literally, she came back, I think that Saturday or Sunday, and that's when that bomb went off the day after she got back.
Wow.
And it was like right across from the little apartment she was staying in, because she was like she wanted to be like the resident. She didn't want to stay in a hotel. She wanted to walk to the markets. So it was that's definitely on my list.
Yes.
All right. So my question for you is,
why do I want to laugh already? I don't know. He gets on my nerves.
How did you lie? I'm just playing. I'm just joking, but no.
Talk about a hot seat.
But no, my real question, seriously, is like, if you could go back to, I'm gonna even say 25. If you could go back to 30,
okay,
what is one thing you would do differently?
I would have probably moved out of Cincinnati sooner with my kids for them to experience something different. I would have moved out of Ohio sooner. I didn't move out of Ohio until I was 45 and my kids were grown. But if I could go back, my 30-year-old self, move my family out of Cincinnati. That would have been one of my, now that I've moved around and seen different things, I would have moved my family out of Cincinnati.
Okay, cool. All right. Do y'all really don't want her to answer these questions, or maybe she can think about it and come back to us with it?
You have an answer?
Oh, yes.
Let's ride.
Okay. So to both you and Ronnie. So, well, Kim, you first. So as a child, when I was a little girl, I always thought my sister was not my sister. My mom used to have these pictures, and this guy looked like my sister, right?
What guy?
This guy, one of my mom's people. But she had a picture of him, and my mom used to have these picture boxes of all these pictures, and this one dude, and I'm like, you look like him. I used to tell her all the time, like, you ain't my sister. But my mom would always keep us separate, right? So as a child, I was probably like 5, and I always stayed in the hood with the babysitter. But my sister always stayed with an older family. She would come back, have her hair braided. She was always clean and kept. Me, on the other hand, I was dressed up like a little doll, and I had big Afro puffs. I would get high. I was 5 years old. I had an aunt who was, I ain't gonna say a crackhead, but she would smoke weed. And I had my first encounter with weed and all that stuff at 5 years old, because my mom kept it separated. And so when we moved from Cleveland to Cincinnati, my mom made me the latchkey kid. And one day I lost the key. But we would always, my mom didn't know, but we would leave the window unlocked and we'd climb through the window. And my sister didn't get a whooping. I got a whooping. And the reason why I got a hump on my nose, my mom hit me in my nose with a belt buckle. And we were traveling to go see my grandma, and my nose bloody and everything. And my grandmother was my protector. My mom used to always whoop me. As I got older, I asked her one day, I said, why was she your favorite? And she told me because I was the strong one.
So are you telling us that Pierre is your favorite because of why?
Because
he saved your life.
And you fucking know it. Because I'm telling you, at 18, I had already slept with 25 different men. And when I had Pierre, I slept with no other. I started becoming choosy, choicey, and all them things. I probably slept with 5 more men after Pierre was born. But from the age of 15 till I was 18 years old, I had slept with 25 different guys.
And 15 was when your mom's the guy. Okay.
No. My neighborhood pimp. My friend was 12 and he slept with her and she didn't tell. And then he came over to me at 15 on my 15th birthday. He took my virginity. And from that on, he popped that cherry, baby. I was giving that coochie to everybody. I was like, here you go. It's free. Come on. I was looking for love. And when I had Pierre, literally, because back then you had a C-section, you get to stay in the hospital for 5 days. They let Pierre stay in my room for the whole 5 days, and he hugged on me as a baby, hugged on me, loved on me, and I was like, oh my God. And he was in foster care for 2 whole months, and I never saw him while he was in foster care. And while he was in foster care, I got my own apartment. I just started doing all these things, and it was because of him.
And that's what I mean. Triggers are tricky. So you love Pierre the way you love him because of a trigger, but because of a trigger, you're bestowing that upon the other girls too. So how do they feel?
Hold on, not the other girls. He's a guy. He's a boy.
I mean, yeah,
No.
come, the girl.
But you know what I tell them?
Do you see what I'm saying? Hold on, stick with that. Stay with that. So that's why triggers are tricky, because you love him the way you do because of a trigger, but you're also pushing a trigger onto those other girls, and you know how they possibly feel.
But this is what I always tell them in separate conversations and conversations. If it wasn't him, it would be none of them.
Oh, yeah, but we probably do need to circle back around to that, because then you also got to think about how. I guess the thing to sit with is how do they feel? Like how you felt. How you felt about when your sister was, you know what I'm saying, going away and getting dolled up and stuff like that. How did you feel? So how do they feel? And even though they may laugh it off and stuff like that, but how do they really feel? So that is definitely is. I see where we're going with this story.
Yeah. But no, and I think in my guilt, that's how Monet has been able to live with me 5 times.
Gotcha.
So
triggers don't stop. So it's not like one isolated incident. They don't stop.
Right.
They breed other stuff. So yeah.
But then that just, I don't know. I guess it goes into the question of, like Kim said, I guess Kim just asked, how did that make them feel? How you struggled with knowing that your sister was your mom's.
Yes.
So if your girls are seeing that, then and they're bestowing that onto their kids because they didn't know how to, like that makes them feel some type of way. That is just still going on generation after generation. Like it hasn't been cut. Which is why I asked you about the grandkids. That was my question, because I know sometimes, I think we talked about this before, you love your kids, but it's just something about them grandkids is totally different. So it's like maybe you were still you're still traumatized. You were still, you know, it's still a trigger, like Kim said. Like you're still hurt by some things, and that hurt came while you were raising your kids.
Yes.
But where you are now, I asked that question because if you saw your daughters say that to your grandkids, and you could see the look on their face or see that they can tell that there's a difference, how would that make you feel?
I honestly, I can't answer that because I think people always say, well, with people who have multiple kids, oh, I treat all my kids the same. I'm like, you really don't, because every human is different. I cannot sit here and say I treated Pierre different, better, or the same, because that's not being honest. And I think a lot of parents are not honest.
I think it's the same. I think it's one thing to say, yeah, I don't think any parent treats all their kids the same. But I think it's a big difference to then like name out a favorite over not treating them the same, because I think that's two totally different things. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
And I think Kim is working from a heavy trauma, and out of that trauma, her appreciation for what P did for her life, she's probably looking at that as like it's greater than her other girls, because what she said, like, y'all wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him, because I would be dead. I could be a different person. I could be
here.
So, and that's tricky, but that's how, like, how do you put those in different buckets so everybody is not, and that gets tricky. That's
And then when you have to really be honest, and a lot of times we're not honest with ourselves. And this is through years. This ain't just like I just came up with this. This through years of living, and I did a lot of things that I would never want my girls to do, not even my son, to survive. And that's just for the love of all three of them. But if I never had Pierre, you wouldn't know me now. Because if I'm telling you by 18, I slept with 25 people, that's a lot of fucking people for a girl to sleep with.
Yeah.
I was not going down the right road. I was using drugs and everything. You would not know me. Pierre literally stopped a lot of shit. And I had friends come to me like, if you didn't have a kid, nobody thought I was going to be a good mother. Everybody saw me as a prostitute, crackhead, and everything, because that's the road that I was going down. So it's hard. A lot of times people are like, oh, damn, you said, like, bro, that's just my truth.
Yeah. The appreciation there is definitely weighted. It's like a grade. It's weighted against some other stuff. So,
my God, please don't think I'm not judging or anything by asking me questions. Okay, I love you for that. I was just, yeah,
these are the conversations America needs to have, because this is just one situation. Other people deal with,
And if
we love P too. We love you, producer,
real bad.
Yes. So, and that's the hard thing, and it's just one of them things, because I also think if my mom was more honest with me, I probably would be in a different space, even with my own kids. I like telling I have to tell my damn daughter to be careful of this man that we loved and called grandpa, because he was touching me. He was touching my daughter. Touching my sister. So you got to think about all of these things, and you look up to this person who's supposed to protect you and keep you safe. And it was my son, because the love of my son made my sister not tell me that he was touching her, because she didn't want me to leave my kids.
That's heavy.
So you got to think about it like that. And I think so. I'm leaving y'all shit to think about. Like, you know,
I'm already thinking that's heavy. That's a different perspective that you.
So I will say I don't treat all mine the same. I treat them because they're different, but I can honestly say it's not one that I'm like is my, my. Now they're all my favorites in their own way, I guess. I have my thing, but I was the mom too, because I never want anybody to feel different. Like if they have M&Ms or something, I'm counting. I'm not just gonna pour the M&Ms on a napkin. I'm counting them out to make sure everybody has the same what's the name. I'm leveling cups on the thing, and I was that mom, so I'm just. But Kennedy's my only girl. Sydney was my firstborn. He made me a mom. Darnell's my little baby, because he's a twin, but He was born first. So it's like, so I mean, we all have our little, but
sometimes people don't express it. And I'm just like, I've just been that person that's been able to express it because it has kept me safe. Because I could have been a crackhead. I could have been a prostitute. Baby, I wanted to be a real loud prostitute. That's what my mom didn't save money for me to go to college. I was like, I'm about to go to the army. I'm about to sell some pussy and I'm going to keep it moving. And I got pregnant.
Well, I will say I've always felt like I could probably be the madam of a brothel. I don't
I
know.
wasn't gonna be a madam.
Listen, you know that is my dream.
Mario, listen.
That is my dream.
And y'all in Texas, we could do a best little whorehouse in Texas too. Okay, because I feel like I would be an amazing madam. Okay,
right. Sign me up as a worker, but I need a 360 deal.
I'm gonna be a worker. Keep my money.
Meaning y'all only get 10%. I'm definitely getting the most.
No.
But Kim, I know you're gonna make me some money, so I'll take that 10%, baby.
I don't know now. She might get in her bag of, she maturing now. She might get, I ain't gonna do this. I ain't gonna do that. Listen, I need to do it all.
I always been a blue collar worker, Kim.
Period. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'll leave y'all upper management into the leadership.
Right. Ooh. Y'all fucking with me.
Mama Kim for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Love y'all too.
We'll end with this little uplift. All right, so this is one thing I saw on Instagram, and it said, a mistake that makes you humble is better than an achievement that makes you arrogant. A mistake that makes you humble is better than an achievement that makes you arrogant.
That one's a good one.
That was a good one.
Yeah. I had two, so I'm going to give y'all the second one just to carry it on with you.
Okay, overachiever. We just
listen, I'm always about the extra credit. Sometimes you need to learn to be quiet even when you have a lot to say.
Oh, Jesus.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Say it one more time just for me.
That was better.
For myself.
Sometimes you need to learn to be quiet even when you have a lot to say. So, carry that with you throughout your week. All right, guys. Thank you again for another great episode. Great discussion.
Of course. Let me just say one thing. Y'all just keep me lifted up in prayer. Okay. Nothing bad's happening. Friday, I'm going to have a whole 16-year-old. Okay.
Oh.
I'm going to have a whole 16-year-old.
Wow.
Hey, the next week we go visit Purdue.
Oh, the joys of family.
Congratulations, cuz. Congratulations.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Well, we definitely will keep you lifted up in prayer. And happy birthday,
Sydney.
Happy
just know, tomorrow night about 11:50, she probably somewhere but fucking cry with some wine, because I am.
Ain't that it?
I am. Tora.
Muddling some shit.
Not in everything. Tora.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you again.
See you guys. Thank you.
Like, did it come up?
Share and subscribe.
No.
Yo.
Hayward broke my stuff, I think. Let me see.
Hayward broke it. How Hayward broke it?
I don't know. That's what we're going with. Damn, I ain't get no balloons or nothing.
Ooh, you got to take yours back.